Hey, how you doing? How you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well on this Monday, the 20th of August, 2012. Now, a little technical glitch. No big deal. I'm a little late. Not a problem. Hey, got a little monologue I want to give you because, well, you can call it a monologue, a rant, whatever. However you want to make it. I was checking out a show on, by the way, this is the views expressed, as I said before, the 20th of August, 2012, right here on Liberty and Freedom Network. I was checking out a show on Spreaker, which we broadcast from, and on their network, and was listening to a particular show. I'm not going to tell you who it was because I don't want to give them any more, props or anything like that. But let me just say that, when you do a show, when you do a podcast, or a live show or something, you seriously have to have, the attitude which will bring and draw people into your show and like it and make it popular. Well, I broadcast over at Spreaker.com, and my show is pretty popular. But this other show that I was listening to is pretty popular as well. And they were complaining that they're not on the front page of Spreaker and that, they're really popular and all this. And I've heard them before. I'm sure the hosts are, pretty good guys you can sit down and have beer with and watch football with. And that's okay. That's cool. Hey. I don't drink beer, but I like football. But I want to tell you something. When you go from a show and you call somebody else and you talk and you go beyond that show and talk about other people and how they live and all this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, of course, let me clarify, it is your opinion, of course. I totally will support the fact that you have a right to your opinion. But to talk about it in a way that just really is demeaning to the people that you're talking about, that kind of makes me wonder. It does. It totally does make me wonder. It makes me question your integrity. It really does. And when you're complaining that, well, you're not on the front page of Spreaker and that you're popular and we should be on there and all this, when you start complaining about that, my first question is, why do you think you're not on the front page? Probably has nothing to do with Spreaker. Probably has nothing to do with the fact that your popularity has dropped. I would rather go listen to Force Radio Network with Samo because, good music, good song, good personality, good attitude, right? And that's how you draw people to your show. Now, just to finish up, I don't bash anybody. Why? Because I'm more inclined to sit down with somebody across the table and listen to what they have to say and learn more from them about who they are and about what their show is about than sitting there bashing their show. I don't do that. I don't talk about how offensive shows are. If a show is offensive, if I offend you with my political rants and my analysis of geopolitical stuff around the world, if I offend you with that, all you got to do is go to another show. You don't have to listen to me. And I think the popularity of different shows vary, of course, but their basis of popularity is based upon your attitude and how you present yourself. And if you're presenting yourself in a very rude and demeaning way and you talk about other things outside of the show that really you don't need to talk about, even though it's your opinion, kind of makes me question your integrity and really makes, it's a no-brainer. Your popularity falls because you're pissing a lot of people off. I mean, honestly, there you go. So anyway, let me go to break. I'll be back. Well, actually, I started late, so I'll give you a couple more minutes here. we're going to talk about everything under the sun today. I just wanted to get that off my chest because, you know, Mama didn't raise no fool. She taught me how not to be rude, okay? That was one of the things. My grandma and my aunt and my cousins, you know, so yeah. So if you want to follow along with this show, go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Go check that out. Hey, you know, to the show that I'm not going to reveal who they are or anything like that. To those people that host that show who are on Spreaker, hey, you know, jump on here and ask me anything. I'm in the chat. Ask me anything you want. I don't care what it is. If you have a question about a good egg sandwich recipe, man, hey, shoot that question to me. I'm more than happy to talk with you. You know, I don't have my phone on, so you can't call in. This is not the day for call-ins. I might do that. I might do a segment on Friday where people can call in and tell me about their week and anything you want. Just it's open forum on Friday. Open forum Friday. Hey, I just made that. So Friday for the first hour. I'm putting this out right now on a Monday. I know you might forget, but I'll tell you about it during the week. Monday, open forum Friday. The first hour, I'm going to give you a way to get a hold of me, to call into the show, and we can talk about whatever you want. How's that? It's called The Views Expressed. You got a view about something? Hey, this is your place, man. So, yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that on Friday, an open forum Friday. Right now, I'll be back right after this. Calvin Wheeler is an American dreamer in a triple threat cage match with his two biggest adversaries, everyday life and himself. His marriage to the woman he believed to be his soulmate is rapidly evaporating before his eyes. The book he's been working on for over a decade is slipping through his fingers as he struggles to complete it. As these pressures grow, Calvin compensates by conjuring up outrageous road rage scenarios in the multiplex of his mind. To make matters even worse, he drives for a living. As his life, job, and dreams simultaneously implode, his wild fantasies begin to literally bleed over into reality. Now, with a gun in one hand and a steering wheel in the other, this distant runner-up in the human race feels empowered for the very first time. And the moral to the story? Traffic can be murder. Red Asphalt by Scott Cherney. Available on the Kindle and in paperback at Amazon.com. It's New York, February 6, 1964. The Beatles are making their appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show in one more day. The Plaza Hotel is crazy with the preparations. Alex Frazier, a desk clerk, has secretly let his brother Freddie use the penthouse suite for the evening so he can wine and dine the girl of his dreams. What Alex and Freddie don't know is the Secret Service are using the same room to hide spy novelist Henry Lade. His most recent novel has attracted the attention of the Soviets and East Germans. The communist countries believe Lade may have secretly discovered their plot to bomb Fresno. Assassins are dispatched to kidnap or kill Lade, whichever is easiest. What Agent John Parker and Henry Lade don't know is the Beatles are staying in the same room for their first appearance on American television. Let's Get Laid by Thomas Amo, available on the Kindle at Amazon.com. All right, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, if I can speak correctly today, on the 20th of August, 2012. You're here at the Views Expressed on the Liberty and Freedom Network, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Hey, if you want to go to a chat room for the show, other than the Spreaker chat, please go on over to freeamericaradio.blogspot.com. That's freeamericaradio.blogspot.com. Want to send me some email through the show? You can send all your email, all your personal email, the private stuff that you want to send me. Send it to freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. If you have information relevant to the show, you can send that to Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. So there you go. You go to the website, there's a book there. You just go there, go to the right-hand side of the page of the website. There's a book, Many Directions of Man. That's a book I wrote. Please pick it up. It's just my observations of what's going on and possible answers that I may have. I mean, that's all it is. You want to check it out? Go ahead. Also on the left-hand side, you'll see a list of tabs. One says the store. You can buy stuff if you like. Or donate. There's a little donate button there. This is a listener-supported show, so you can donate, help out, keep the website up, keep the show going. Awesome. You guys are great. Thank you. Again, if you want to email me privately through the show, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. If you want to chat with me right now, you can go to freeamericaradio.blogspot.com. freeamericaradio.blogspot.com. Want to follow along with the stories I'm going to be discussing? You can go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check out all that there. Got a bunch of links, bunch of pictures. But I want to get to this first, okay? I want to get to this first because it dovetails into another story I want to dissect and analyze for you. From naturalnews.com, Mike Adams over there writes, the health ranger over there writes, Natural News exclusive, U.S. government developing ultimate cyber weapon. Prime factoring quantum computing makes encryption obsolete. The U.S. government is making steady progress on a game-changing technology that would give it the most powerful weapon ever devised in the realm of cyber warfare and information dominance. The weapon is called prime factoring quantum computing, and a small-scale version of the game-changing technology has already been demonstrated by researchers at UC Santa Barbara, where qubits, or quantum bits, of computational potential factored the number 15 into its prime factors 3 and 5. Now, a lot of you math, computer whiz kids out there know what that means. Mike Adams continues, so what, you say? Can't any fifth grader do the same thing? But hold on. Every digital encryption algorithm used today depends in the extreme mathematical difficulty of factoring the prime numbers of very large numbers. When you buy something on the internet, for example, your credit card is sent to the merchant using something called SSL encryption, which typically uses a 40-bit 128-bit, or sometimes even a 256-bit encryption algorithm. Anyone who might intercept your web form data would not be able to extract your credit card number unless they decrypted your encrypted data. This task requires extraordinary computing power. For example, and he goes on, he gives examples of that. For example, using military-grade 512-bit encryption means that it would take a supercomputer longer than the age of the known universe to decrypt your file and expose your secrets. This is why the U.S. military uses such encryption. It's virtually unbreakable given today's computers. But quantum computers have the spooky ability to process complex encryption algorithms using what some scientists believe are computational bits which coexist in an infinite number of parallel universes. You feed the quantum computer a decryption task, and it calculates, that's in quotes, the answer in all possible parallel universes. The correct answer then emerges in this universe. Seemingly magical. Now, let me cruise on down here. You can go and click on the link on Liberty and Freedom Network and read the whole thing, but I want to read you this part. Now, I just set it up with all your, techno babble up there. Okay? But here's this. Imagine a government that can break any code. That scaling up, that's in quotes, will be difficult, but its achievement is only a matter of time. Once it is achieved, this technology will almost certainly be classified as a, quote, matter of national security, unquote, and control of technology will be monopolized by the U.S. government. The U.S. government, which already behaves like a criminal police state entity which respects no human rights, civil rights, or even the Bill of Rights, will no doubt use this technology to expand its domination both domestically and internationally. The U.S. government absolutely despises anyone who leaks its own secrets. Witness the attempted arrest and incarceration of WikiLeaks' Julian Assange. But the government is deeply interested in everyone else's secrets, of course. It's already public knowledge that the U.S. government, via the NSA, is spying on everyone's email, web traffic, phone calls, and search engine activity. But now, people and corporations which value privacy use encryption algorithms to send protected files to recipients. Even the common utility WinZip has an encryption component to protect files. Once the U.S. government achieves its quantum computer, it will be able to open all encrypted files in mere seconds, reading all of the secrets of those who mistakenly think their files are impenetrable. This means citizens and corporations will have no ability to keep secrets from the government in the realm of digital information. That's why quantum computing will be used as a weapon by the government itself, a weapon that steals secrets which the government will then use to threaten or blackmail its way into position of yet more power. That's what governments do, after all, incessantly seek more power at any cost. Another element no one is talking about here is the end of the so-called virtual private networks, or VPNs. These are secure, quote-unquote, tunnels across the internet. These packets of data are passed publicly across the internet, but all such packets are encrypted. For example, Mike Adams says he uses a VPN to access the naturalnews.com servers and control the web servers there. Many corporations use VPNs to allow their employees to, quote-unquote, telecommute by working from home. Even the military uses VPNs throughout its command and control infrastructure. Prime factoring quantum computers make VPNs obsolete. They're not going to be worth anything anymore. There's nothing, quote-unquote, private about a virtual private network if the U.S. government can decrypt your encryption key in a matter of seconds. Suddenly, what used to be a secret is now being read by intelligent operatives in Langley. or in the $2 million facility in Utah. The it's one of those. It's one of those things you have to sit back and read all of this stuff. There's that link there on Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Natural News exclusive. U.S. government developing ultimate cyber weapon. Prime factoring quantum computer. Okay? Seriously. So, and I looked in the Spreaker chat. Hey, Phil, how you doing? Paranormal Phil. I am going to, because of because of the DJ console here at Spreaker is telling me that I've got a lot of memory use on it. I'm going to close freeamericaradio.blogspot.com. That's usually the our chat room for the show, but that's okay. If you're here, use Spreaker chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check this out. Facebook facial recognition camera. Yeah, you heard me correctly. There's two. There's. I put this article up twice. It's actually a video, and it's pretty darn good, actually. The Facebook facial recognition camera was developed by Red Pepper Lab out of Atlanta and Nashville. Integrated Marketing, Communications, and Advertising. That right there tells you what it's used for. So check that out. And yeah, we're sitting on a huge time bomb, folks. I use that word figuratively. It's not literally a bomb. I just said that. I'm using it figuratively. There is no kaboom going off in the next 5 minutes. We are sitting in a government, or we're in a country with a government who has totally turned itself over to the dark side. Totally turned themselves over to the Soroses, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all of these people, and literally have sold their soul to the company store in a way, and are now going to destroy the sovereignty of the United States of America and take away systematically, methodically, if not right away, all of your rights and everything that protects all of you. In other words, if you have, we all have freedom of speech. We all have, freedom to open carry. It's called the Bill of Rights. We don't need to pay, hundreds of dollars for a weapons permit. We have the Second Amendment. We don't have to get permission to say what we want. We have the First Amendment. Doesn't matter what your religion or outlook is. You have an opinion. You have a right to that opinion, and I will stand by you because you have a right to that opinion. Even if it's wrong, even if you overlook something and somebody tells you that you're wrong, you have that right to say whatever it is you want to say. It's like in the beginning of the show, you can go back to the beginning of the show, and I talked about a certain show on Spreaker. I was kind of vague, and I'm not going to tell you who it is or anything like that, but I heard bits and pieces of it today, and I can tell you, actually, I heard quite a lot of the show today, and they're on Spreaker, and I got to tell you, it's no wonder they're pissing and moaning and groaning about not being on the front page of Spreaker and in the realm of popularity. It's no wonder. But I will stand next to them and defend their right to have their opinion. I don't agree with it, but we have the right to our opinion. It's like me. breaking down the news, breaking down all of this stuff and giving it to you and showing you my side of it and hopefully educating and enlightening you on, the crap that Washington, D.C. is pulling on us. In various ways, it's not just a group of people. It's a group of people that have their fingers in everybody's pie and controlling everybody in certain ways and making things happen. In other words, screwing all of us. So, but anyway, I really want people to understand that this is a show about what I see. A friend of mine jokingly says, well, it's your views expressed. It's nobody else's. You don't let anybody else. Yes, I do. I just said it earlier. This coming Friday, and I'll promote this during the week, this coming Friday, for the first hour, I will give you a way that you can call in. You can call in and talk about everything under the sun. Okay? It's Open Forum Friday. I've heard other hosts like Joe Pags and people like that call it First Amendment Friday. No, it's Open Forum Friday for me and for you, because you call in and talk about whatever it is you want. You got a good pie recipe? You got something you want to share about a spaghetti recipe or something? You can do that. It's okay. It's just the first hour is I'm going to open it's going to be open forum. I'm going to give you a way to call in and talk about anything that's on your mind. Politically, religiously, whatever, But because it's, geared to allow a lot of people to hopefully call in, if you have a question or a point or a comment, please make it so we can get on to some other people. And I'll promote that during the week. It's Open Forum Friday, first hour of the views expressed. Talk about whatever you want. If you saw a good show on TV, hey, talk about that too, man. If you have a show yourself and you host a show, either on Spreaker or your own network, call in. Tell us about it. Tell us how we can reach you. Okay? But that's Friday, on Open Forum Friday on the Views Expressed. Lots of things going on. I don't know where to begin. I really don't. But I said I would talk about that other, the prime factoring quantum computers going into the Facebook facial recognition camera. So it's something you need to really take a look at. Government-funded bullet trains will connect America Agenda 21 megacities. I'm going to talk about that when I get back from this break. And there's just so much. There's just so much that we have to pay attention to, seriously. And I really, really want you to pay attention. Honestly, I really, really want you to pay attention. I mean, if there's nothing else in this whole... If there's nothing else that you take away from this show, or any show like this, pay attention to what's going on around you. You may not agree with me. You may not like this show. And I ask you that if you don't like this show and you don't agree with me and you're yelling and screaming at your computer, I think it's time for you to search for another show. That's just my opinion. Okay? So just think about it. All right? Just something to think about. All right? So anyway, hey, we're going to go to break. I know you heard some music there and stuff. So we're going to go to break. Be back in, almost. And I like to tell you how long we're going to take a break because that way it gives you time to go do what you need to do. Right? Whatever. So we'll be back in almost 5 minutes. All right? So this is the Views Express for the 20th of August, 2012. I'm your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. I shall return right after this. Views expressed for 20th of August 2012. Thank you all for being here and being supportive. Appreciate it. No bashing on this show. No deceiving you. No doing any of that. If you're in the chat room in Spreaker, please say hi. If you're going to leave, please say bye. That's all I ask because, hey, I don't know whether or not you're coming or going. Just, when you're in the Spreaker chat, just say, hey, I'm here. How you doing? Whatever. And then if you got to go, say bye. No big. Anyway, it's Monday. Monday. Yes, it is. Want to go to what I left off with before the break. The Intel Hub. Government-funded bullet trains will connect America Agenda 21 megacities. Susan Posel wrote that. Thanks, Suzanne. To boost infrastructure and build Agenda 21 high-speed rail systems across America, Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood stated last week that $470 million in unspent funds are still available to states for such projects. In 2011, Obama called for these HSRS to be built in America within the next 25 years. In California, government funding for HSRS across the Central Valley trades $4.5 million, or I don't know how she wrote this. In California, government funding for a HSRS across the Central Valley trades $4.5 in bonds for $3.2 billion in federal stimulus for a railway that links to transportation lines. The high-speed railway is the brainchild of America 2050, a non-governmental organization that supports Agenda 21 policies in the U.S. America 2050 claims that the railway will provide more trains to the growing population in California and that this endeavor is necessary to close the gap between Northern and Southern California. You really think so? Now, I used to live in California. California is broke. Okay? Absolutely, positively broke. All right? Continuing, Kurt Pringle, Anaheim mayor, asserts that HSRS will, quote, be much more convenient than taking a plane and certainly much easier in time and fatigue than driving, unquote. Really? You got a police state happening right there, or, city state right there happening. What is it? The Agenda 21 forces or police or whatever, turning that whole city into a police state. I mean, there's rioting all over the place. You've pretty much closed down the city. So, Kurt, hello, Mr. Mayor, Pringle, what the hell? So, just type into someone. Hang on, I'll continue on with the article here. The thing is about California is that people do want more efficiency. This is absolutely true. And it's not just California. It's all over the place. So, yeah, why go to the airport and have to stand in line, blah, 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 blah. Why not get a rail, a high-speed rail system from Southern California to Northern California? I've always thought that for many years. It took them 50 years or something like that to put together the freeway system in downtown Stockton, where I used to live, called the Crosstown Freeway. It took them years to get that finally put together, to go from Highway 5 to Interstate 5 to Highway 99. It took them years to do that. But now, it's people are going to, they want efficiency. But then again, you're going to have the Transportation Safety Administration, or agency, standing there groping your kids at the train station instead of the airport. But Kurt Pringle, Anaheim mayor, asserts that the HSRS will be much more convenient than taking a plane and certainly much easier in time and fatigue than driving. As he says, along with California, HSRS will be built with private industry and government funding in Florida, Illinois, New England, and along the entirety of the Pacific Northwest. This endeavor is estimated to cost $8 billion to the taxpayer. Excuse me, do you have $8 billion in your pocket? I didn't think so. The Florida High-Speed Rail Authority has estimated their project to cost $27 million per mile. When other projects' estimated costs are added up, it may run into $90 billion, which exceeds the $8 billion set aside by the U.S. government. Yeah. In the Department of Transportation, in conjunction with the Department of Energy document, Vision of High-Speed Rail in America, LaHood states that, quote, regional high-speed corridors, unquote, will connect megacity residents in, quote, selected U.S. corridors, unquote, in an energy-efficient and climate change reversing transportation system. What the hell does that mean? I mean, sorry I had to type there. You heard that. Somebody Skyped me. So, but yeah, it's, what does that mean? Seriously? Continuing, championed by Obama, the development of a, quote, comprehensive high-speed intracity passenger rail network will require a long-term commitment at both the federal and state levels, unquote. America 2050, in line with Agenda 21, wants to see high-speed rails built along the east and west coast of America. These railways will link the mega regions and mega cities, which create Cascadia, an amalgamation of Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver and British Columbia with a high-speed rail will ensure the protection of designated habitats for animals. Cascadia will begin in Northern California and extend along the Pacific Ocean. The EcoCity Builders is a nonprofit organization which is a collaboration of international networks of associates and influence and actively participate in local city planning projects across the U.S. They focus on reworking current issues to match UN Agenda 21 guidelines in planning for local cities, including transportation, energy, architecture, design, natural restoration, development, planning, and advocacy. They characterize the eco-city as, 1, human settlements modeled after sustainable development that functions with natural ecosystems and living organisms. 2 words you want to be aware of and beware of: sustainable development. Let me read that again and I'll tell you what's on my mind. Human settlements modeled after sustainable development that functions with natural ecosystems and living organisms. A green city. To take more money out of your pocket. 2, reduce the inhabitants' ecological impact on the environment. Get this. Attention. Reduce the inhabitants' ecological impact on the environment. Ted Turner, Bill Gates. They wouldn't mind seeing 80% of the world's population gone bye-bye. Okay, number 3, restoration of ecosystems after the recolonization of humans into dense cities. Bring them out of the country, put them into the middle of the city, put fences around it, put all kinds of stuff around it so we can't get out into the, what they would consider a forbidden zone. Number 4, sustainable living under Agenda 21 supports regional, national, and global economic systems. In New York, Mayor Michael Bloomberg, Nanny Bloomberg, announced that through an initiative to create Agenda 21-style apartments, he will suspend zoning regulations to construct stack 'em and pack 'em 300-square-foot, quote-unquote, living spaces. By 2013, these apartment models are expected to be ready for residents. Another vision of the megacity apartment building is the Flat Tower, which is a skyscraper that could house 400,000 people. Designers are looking to maximize apartment interior space. Designers are looking to maximize apartment interior space could install furniture that folds into walls. There's a video on YouTube about that. I saw this. He was a designer. He's an architect, all this. He has a very narrow type of apartment, but everything's there. He pulls out this bookcase. The kitchen is behind it. He pulls out this other wall and turns it, and the bed is there, and it folds out from the wall. It's pretty cool. But designers are looking to maximize apartment interior space could install furniture that folds into the wall. Windows would also have transparent OLEDs. This technology was unveiled by Samsung back in 2010. A television screen could be designed to be opaque on command. This would also serve as a temperature regulator to save on energy consumption. Mainstream scientists like Michael Frekias, chief scientist of the UIN's Planet Under Pressure, say that people should live in densely populated cities because, quote, we certainly don't want them strolling about the entire countryside. We want them to save land for nature by living closely together, unquote. Yeah, like they have any concern for the cow that they're going to kill and put on our table. Like they have any concern about the peacock that is on some people's farms. Like they have any concern about the 25 acres of corn being grown out there. No. Like they have any concern about the mountain range out here that has, deer and all of that. Yeah, they're not concerned with it, okay? They say they are, but they're not. And so there you go. I don't know what you think about this, and I'll take some notes right now because we have an open forum Friday. The first hour of the show is open to you, so we can talk about this. Agenda 21 system of government. Guess what? Agenda 21? United Nations. Okay? That's what it is. They want to take over the United States to do whatever they want and give it all to their banking buddies. Okay, off the offshore interests and all that. So, literally, what do we do? What do we do? I mean, here we are. If somebody came, well, let's just say you live at home, you have a wife, you have 2 kids, all of that. Okay, what would you do if 3 people came to your door, knocked on your door, they walked in and they said, Mr. Smith, we would like you to take a look at this system that we have and help you. We're going to help you design this home in a much more efficient manner. We're going to help you in sustainably develop your home. Okay? We're going to help you, your kitchen is a little bit bigger as far as space is concerned. We can conserve that space. Hear all the tag words there? Hear all the trigger words? We're going to help you. We're not here to harm you. We're not here to take your 2-story, 1,600 square foot home away from you. No, here's our plan. We have a 900, or not even that, probably 800 square foot home in the city for you. And guess what? We'll buy your house at market rate, and we will, less than market rate, and we will help you move into this better apartment. And it's an apartment, it's a building, it's there. And we can, as a matter of fact, we'll do one better. Okay? We'll even send your kids go to a school that's 15, 20 miles away from here. As a matter of fact, where we want to move you, right downstairs, there is a school. Yeah, well, it's right. It's all right there. Everything's right there. It's all for you. Yeah, what if somebody came into your house and told you that? I'm glad I live in an open carry state. they wouldn't be standing there much longer. I'd tell them, get out of my house. My aunt, many years ago, back in the 50s, early 60s, somewhere around in there, my aunt had a farm, was living on a ranch, big ranch, my mom says, and a lot of acreage. They were growing food, and they were growing, and some government people came to her. My mom told me this. Government people came to her house and were talking to her. And my aunt, my mom says this, that her aunt, her mom's sister, said, get the hell off of my property. They wanted her to not grow on a certain area. And they'd pay her. That's called Agenda 21. It was back then, too, as well. I think it was late 50s, mid-50s, something like that. Somewhere around in there. And that is Agenda 21. That is, that whole UN agenda of putting people in compact little houses. Matter of fact, here's a good example. If you haven't seen it yet, go get the DVD, The Fifth Element, with Bruce Willis. Okay? That little apartment that he lived in, that how he got the shower and all this and the coffee and all, that's what they want us to live in. It's a little bit bigger than that. Maybe that's a little Hollywood, but that's basically it. Like I said, there's a video. Go look under, as a matter of fact, please do this because you need to know. Go to YouTube and look under Agenda 21, housing, whatever, sustainable development. Go look under that. You'll find a whole lot of stuff. Go to startpage.com and put in Agenda 21 PDF. Guaranteed, after you read that, you're going to wonder what the hell these people are wanting to do to you. Okay? Bill Gates, Ted Turner, all those people, they want to eliminate 80% of the world's population because they think that there's too many people. And some of these yuppies that you see hanging around, these people, they're saying, yeah, the world would be nice if there wasn't so many people. Yeah, that's globalist talk for let's kill all you people. Okay? By the way, a little side note, little show note here, that if you're offended by anything I say, you don't have to listen to it. I'm just saying. But if you want to be enlightened and educated on things that are happening geopolitically, hey, hang out, be cool, And I gotta, it's, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, pardon me. Got a little gas, got a little something. I'm drinking coffee, so that stuff does come up every once in a while. But anyway, this Friday, Open Forum Friday, please come, please check it out. First hour of the show, I'm going to have a way for you to call in and talk about Agenda 21, talk about, you can even talk about Romney and Paul Ryan. You can talk about education. You could talk about whatever it is you want to talk about for the first hour. Then after that, we'll get on with the show. Hey, if you want to stick around on Friday, you can. All you got to do is go to freeamericaradio.wix. That's wix.com/The Views Expressed. Check that out. I won't be in the chat room there, or maybe that day I might. But go check it out. I mean, it's pretty cool. I got a donate button over there. This is listener-supported radio, so, hey, anything that you can do, you got $1 in your pocket? Hey, throw it in there, Keeps the website up, keeps the show going. That's pretty cool. You can donate. You can even buy stuff. I got a store there. You can buy stuff. Promote your patriotism. Also, on that same page, on the right-hand side, I got a book, Many Directions of Man. It's my observations as to what's going on in the world. I break some things down, throw some answers in there somewhere, try to come up with some, plausible solutions. And a lot of spiritual stuff in that book, too, so you might be enlightened, hopefully. But Many Directions a Man, I wrote it. Please check it out. Please buy it. It keeps the show up and running, and it's awesome. So, hey, the old clock on the wall here says I got to take a break. So, this is a short break, by the way. It's a little 2-minute break, so I shall return right after this. Come join Reverend Wayne S. Pierce on The Views Express, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific is 7 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com. Hey, this is The Views expressed, if I can speak correctly. The Views expressed for the 20th of August, 2012. Yes. I is here. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. It is the top of the hour. We have a long segment coming up, so I want to get into that. There's so many things going on. So many things going on that all I'm doing is hopefully encouraging you to go look this stuff up yourself, please. That's all. I mean, you're probably sitting there going, what is this guy talking about? I don't believe him. He's one of those conspiracy theorists. Oh my God, he's so far right-wing, I don't... You know what? I'm neither. Hey, newsflash. I'm nonpartisan. I don't care. Neither one of the parties know what the hell they're doing. They're both bought off by Goldman Sachs, okay, and the Rothschilds and the Soroses, and yeah. Oh, did you know that George Soros just got married to a woman who's way younger than he is? Yeah, congrats, George. Anyway, getting on with the show. I don't know, though. You know, I want to... I look around and I see so many different things, and I see what can be, you know what I mean? I often look at things and I say, you know what is the answer? You know? Nobody, actually, FYI, nobody's completely wrong and no one's completely right. But for someone to say, oh, you're wrong, no, I'm not. I may have overlooked something, yeah, but it doesn't make me wrong. And just because you're telling me I'm wrong doesn't make you right. So, you know. I have to say, though, that when somebody says, oh, you're wrong, you know what my response is now to them? Prove yourself right. 9 times out of 10, not happening, because they can't. They don't know how. They have no clue. No clue whatsoever. And the thing that some people look at me and say, some of the excuses that I hear is, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Really? What about yourself? Oh, I just know. Really? Can you quote me chapter and verse as to how you know and what resources you have? Well, and their head explodes. Because they can't. Because nobody, I've told people this over and over and over and again. I'm not the smartest man in the world, okay? I don't have all the answers, and I could be wrong. I don't know everything. So for me to sit here and say, yes, I'm right, and just say, yes, just because I know, and not only prove it to myself, but to not prove it to somebody else is, I think, cheating them out of the information that I have. I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay? So anybody that wants to yell at their computer and think that I'm a conspiracy theorist or whatever needs to wake up. Okay? Smell your Folgers and get over yourself, because you're not that important in the whole aggregate of information. All right? You've got your opinions on things. You've got your view on certain things. You have, guess what? Newsflash, you have your perspective. I always like to say this. If you have 10 people in a room, in a circle, in chairs, they're sitting there and they're just kind of biding time with them, just kind of sitting there enjoying the moment, and you have a table in the middle of it with a book on it. And somebody walks in and they ask simple questions. Hey, has anybody read that book? What do you know about that book? Stuff like that. And then they walk out. How many people, how many of those 10 people are going to say they've read the book, they know that book, they've probably read it more than once, and they know the characters and the situations and the theme? How many people of those 10 people are going to say that? Not very many. You know why? Because they all, number one, they don't want to. They don't want to have a perspective of that book. Number two, did I say two already? Number one, they don't want to have a perspective of that book. Number two, they'll have an opinion which is far from ever, getting, how can I put this? They don't have an opinion on that book. They don't have anything to base their views of their opinions of that book on anything. They don't have a foundation for their opinions. They'll say they've read it. They'll say they understand it, but they don't, and they're just blowing smoke. The third type of people in that room are people that seem to think they know more than the guy sitting next to them. You ever run into those people? You tell them, hey, I used to play football in school. Yeah, and the guy looks at you, whoever you're talking to, says, yeah, I played football, and I was on track, and I did. Really? They all want to try to be better than you are because they want to show off? So you got 10 people in a room with a book there, and one person probably read it twice, knows all about that book, and probably somebody else will say, yeah, I knew that. I know about that book, and there's another book like that, and he'll start spouting off all kinds of stuff. And he has absolutely no clue what he's talking about. Have you run into those people? Because I know I have. But the point is that somebody out of those 10 people are going to know the information. And out of that, they're going to disseminate that information to other people and hopefully enlighten and educate them. Hopefully. You know why people don't want to come to this show and listen to it, even though it is popular? It's the fact that people don't want to be called out. Pretty much. They don't want to admit that they were wrong. They don't want to admit that they have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. In other words, I've had people come on this show and ramble on about certain things that I was talking about and absolutely have no clue what they're talking about. I shouldn't say this show. I was on another network. I was on Blog Talk Radio, and I did a paranormal show over there called Paranormal Explorer. And I'd have, people call in, and I'd listen, and I'd, be real nice and courteous and let them talk and all that. And about half the people that called in absolutely didn't have any clue what they were talking about. I mean, seriously. I've been in the paranormal business in this field for over 30 years. I mean, I know something about the paranormal, okay? So, seriously. But the fact of the matter is you will have those people who think they know something when, in fact, when you present it to them and say, show me your proof, show me chapter and verse, they'll sit there with their mouth hanging open and their eyes bulging out. And when you present them with even further proof that they don't know what they're talking about, their head will explode. Not literally, I'm just talking in metaphor, okay? But seriously, I mean, so that's why on Open Forum Friday, please call in. Talk about anything. Paranormal Phil's in the Spreaker chat. He's got a show coming up tonight, 9 p.m. Pacific on Spreaker, and continued on Youreon.net, Youreon.net, called PRT Paranormal Talk with your host, Mr. Paranormal Phil. He's going to talk about dreams tonight, so check out that show. I believe it's at 9 p.m. Pacific. Been on the show. Awesome show. There are more shows on Spreaker. Lots of shows. And again, go check it out. www.spreaker.com. Spreaker.com. Go check out the list of shows that's on there. And again, if you don't, I'm going to say this to the hosts and to the listeners. If you don't like the opinion of one show, go check out another show. If you don't like that show, check something out. Whatever it may be. And I love live radio because the phone rings and that's all you hear. Yeah, that's all you got to do. Thank you for caller ID. But if you don't like a show and you don't agree with the host, don't go on another show and bash them because that's stupid. If you don't like a show or like their opinions or like the way they look at something, Spreaker has some great plans. Okay? Create your own show and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Okay? It's like, come on. Like Pit Stop Radio with your host Sarah, who talks about Formula One racing, and she's young and knows a lot about Formula One racing because she studies it, does the research. Got a lot of shows here. Samo Radio has a show, Samo Radio. Go look it up there on Spreaker. Got a lot of shows on Spreaker, but you have to understand one very important fundamental factor. You're not always going to agree with someone. That's okay. I don't agree with everybody. All right? But at least I have the ability to listen to what they have to say and say, maybe I should go check that out. Instead of going on somebody else's show and bash them for no apparent reason whatsoever. Because I think I know more than they do. No. Well, there's people out there that know more than I do. Okay? I mean, seriously. Sit down, relax, enjoy. It's amazing. It really is amazing. And I just, there's another show which there's another network that you need to check out. It's not on Spreaker. because they left. They went elsewhere and created their own network. Because they wanted to. That's why. Go check out Jay Towers over at KTRNradio.com. And he's got a show, hosts a show, That Radio Show, over there at KTRNradio.com. Also, there's another show over there called That BK Show. Okay? It's Brian Keller hosts that show. That BK Show. Go check that out. KTRNradio.com. Go check that out. Awesome people over there. I highly recommend it. There are there are things that we should look at and pay attention to. One, what's going on in your neck of the woods? Pay attention to what's going on. Here in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, behind enemy lines in FEMA Region 9, we got these things called free speech zones. Yeah, please take pictures in your area if you have those and send them to me to Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. And please send those to me. If you can get video or whatever, yeah, send that. Send it to Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. If you see anything, such as Homeland Security Police, somehow take a picture of it. Send that to me. Okay? That would be cool. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. So much going on. Go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check this out. I got 2 articles I'm going to talk to you before the bottom of the hour. Probably finish up with them after the bottom of the hour. And it is the first one. Mobile phone companies can predict future movements of users by building a profile of their lifestyle. Okay? Let me say that again from the UK Daily Mail, posted on blacklistednews.com. Mobile phone companies can predict future movements of users by building a profile of their lifestyle. I'm just going to give you what's here on blacklistednews.com. From telling us when our train is coming, helping us when we're lost, and letting us watch our favorite TV shows, there seems to be no limit to how involved our smartphone is with our day-to-day life. Now, the gadget promises something so advanced it verges on the supernatural. It will know exactly what we're doing tomorrow. Scientists have found a way of predicting an individual's movement, scientists have found a way of predicting an individual's future movements by analyzing information from their mobile phone. A team of computer scientists at the University of Birmingham successfully predicted future locations with an error margin of just 60 feet, which has fueled fears of privacy invasions. You think? While mobile phone networks can already track where a handset is in real time, the scientists have developed an algorithm or formula to forecast our future movements. Now, the one thing I want to say about this, I got to say this, and I've seen, if you go on and search for your towers in your location, and the cell towers, you'll find a map, and some of them say unregistered. Yeah, chances are they're going to be military. So cell tower search or cell towers, Most of them are going to be microwave. The only people that use microwave are military, just to let you know. The fact that they can track us is scary enough, isn't it? Seriously? Isn't it scary enough that they're tracking us with now they have cameras, facial recognition cameras, that you got to sign in with your Facebook information for them to track you. And there's certain locations already that have these Facebook facial recognition cameras up. Go look on Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check out that article. And it's a video, actually, and it shows you what they do. I got chills talking about this. This is freaking creepy, people. We can't get away with anything like we want to get away with something, but you know what I mean. We can't go anywhere without having some sort of cyber footprint. Okay? I remember years ago when I was working closely with the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office and all of that, I was, having casual conversations with some of the detectives, and I asked about technology. I said, how long does it take you to have a cell phone dump? And they go, oh, probably about a day, but we need to get a warrant. Okay. And I asked them about warrants. I said, well, judges have to sign off on those. How do you get a judge at 2 o'clock in the morning to sign off on a warrant? Probable cause. We tell them the importance to the case and all this. And I'm like, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you really think he's going to be awake enough to really understand what you're talking about? But they do. They get them to sign off on a warrant, a search warrant, and it's scary as hell. Even then, I remember looking at a piece of information that I got from now I can't remember where it was, but I had a cell phone. Oh yeah, I remember I was in Stockton and I was at the Singular store. It was now AT&T because they gobbled them up. And I got a phone and I looked and I said, oh, hey, and at this time, this was like, I don't know, about 10, 12 years ago, or even later than that, it was like 98, 99. I looked at the lady across the counter. I said, oh, another tracking system that the government can use to track us. And she looked at me and had that look on her face like, oh, hell, he knows. It was like, oh, my God. But even then, I'm not shy to say, folks, I graduated high school in 1980. Even after then, I was hearing from certain elements of society, not going to specifically tell you where, but I heard of drones, balloons being, put up there with cameras, all this, that, and the other thing. I heard of cars with radio frequency tracking systems. I saw what they looked like. Okay. I even heard back in the early 70s, remember that old detective show Banachek? He had a car phone. Remember that? Dun, dun, dun. Hello. That was a Marine radio, by the way. Some people were kind of correcting me on that back then. And, I mean, come on. They're going to track us because they want control of their sheep. And they're trying to corral us into this little area in our cities, and they call it sustainable development. It's been going on since the creation of the League of Nations, later on becoming the United Nations, and it's been the tool for Agenda 21. And who benefits from all of this? The globalists, the elites, they want to know everything. They want to know everything about you. They don't want you to have a life. They want to take your life. They don't want you to have one. Okay? So, I mean, seriously. It says here, scientists have found a way of predicting an individual's future movements by analyzing information from their cell phone. Mobile phone. Let me go to the Daily Mail article because it has more there. While the mobile phone networks can already track where a handset is in real time, the scientists have developed an algorithm, a formula, to forecast our future movements. They continue on dailymail.co.uk. They compared data from one individual and their closest social network to predict a person's future location based on places and areas visited in the past and the frequency of contact between those studied. The Sunday Times there in London, I believe, reported. For example, if two individuals who have close contact visit a particular restaurant, it is highly likely that this is where they will be the next time they are both heading towards the area where the restaurant is. This means that mobile phone providers will be able to predict the future whereabouts of their customers. Couple that with the Facebook facial recognition camera. Just interjecting that. Continuing, the study used mobile phone data from a group of 200 people living in the vicinity of Lausanne in Switzerland. Dr. Micro Mussolesi, who led the study, said, quote, information extracted from the usage of a mobile phone is an intriguing source of data about people behavior, unquote. He added, we have shown that the accuracy of the prediction of an individual's future locations could be improved if his or her previous movement and the mobility information of his or her social group are taken into account, unquote. He said that the formula may not reflect the general population and would be more accurate in cities where people's moves tend to be synchronized. Hello, 2 and 2 plus, 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? Sustainable development. Push everybody into this little area, corral them with technology, and voila, you have bingo! Facial recognition cameras from Facebook. You've got tracking systems, predictive tracking systems. They already have cameras in San Francisco that can focus on a person and determine whether or not they're going to commit a crime. That's called pre-crime technology. They have that in San Francisco. Wake up, folks. This is not a freaking joke. Okay? Continuing with the article from dailymail.co.uk, although it may be a great help to marketing companies and possibly law enforcement's privacy groups, such as Big Brother Watch, fear it will invade privacy. Quote, this development highlights huge privacy concerns, unquote. Emma Carr, deputy director of Big Brother Watch, told the Sunday Times. Mr. Mussolesi, I think is how you pronounce it, forgive me if I butchered the name, tweeted plans of releasing the algorithm as an API, application programming interface, which would open up commercial possibilities for app wizards and mobile phone service providers. In terms of marketing, it means that advertising agencies will be able to target individuals with personalized advertisements using information about where the person has been and where he or she might be going. But it could also be a tool for third-party apps offering discounts and other offers where the app would be available to provide real-time deals available at venues and areas where a person is predicted to beat a specific time and day. To be at. They combined the word, to be at a specific time or day. The team also expressed hopes that their algorithm could be used by the police force in prediction of the future location of criminal events. I just said that. Pre-crime technology. Now, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I bring these stories to you. I give you the sources. I give you the links, all that. And I hope, and I'm like Paranormal Phil over here, Phil Pierce from PRT Paranormal Talk, tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific on Spreaker. Yeah, he said, I saw that video on the news this morning and said to myself, when are people going to wake up and see this stuff is going on? They're not. Most of them. Well, I shouldn't say most of them. The ones that are watching network or cable news, network and cable news are going to demonize this and say, "Oh yes, they're going to make it to help curb crime. They're going to help advertisers." They're not telling you exactly what's going on. They're there to buffalo you into believing everything coming off of that teleprompter, because those deadhead, I don't mean any disrespect to the Grateful Dead followers, but those deadhead biological androids reading that stuff off a teleprompter is just stupid. It's just stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. They never have and they never will. Okay? Never. At all. Ever. Go to alternative media. As a matter of fact, turn off your TVs now, because nothing on there matters. Okay? Pre-crime technology is now being set up in San Francisco, California, and probably other parts of the United States. Now I just read you an article out of the UK where it's being set up there. Hello. Mobile phone companies can predict future movements of users by building a profile of their lifestyle. Hello. That means they're tracking you. And now you have Facebook facial recognition. Okay? Not a good sign, folks. Okay? There's a signpost up ahead. You are now entering the Twilight Zone. Alright? Went past the bottom of the hour, so when I get back, I'll talk about this. Banks can now legally steal customer funds from private checking accounts. I don't know how valid that story is, but it's from thedailysheeple.com. All right? Just something, just something. I don't know, man. We got to wake up somehow. I'm awake, you're awake, I'm sure. Am I preaching to the choir, or are you going to go out and tell 10 other people? 10 people in a circle in the book, They're going to look at you like you have 3 heads, of course. They're going to do that, but it's always good, go out and tell somebody else. You know what? We'll be back in a little bit. It's a long break, so go do what you got to do, because, I got to do what I got to do. So I will see you in a little over 4.5 minutes. See you then. This is the Views Expressed. I'm your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. This is the 20th of August, 2012. Calvin Wheeler is an American dreamer in a triple threat cage match with his 2 biggest adversaries, everyday life and himself. His marriage to the woman he believed to be his soulmate is rapidly evaporating before his eyes. The book he's been working on for over a decade is slipping through his fingers as he struggles to complete it. As these pressures grow, Calvin compensates by conjuring up outrageous road rage scenarios in the multiplex of his mind. To make matters even worse, he drives for a living. As his life, job and dreams simultaneously implode. His wild fantasies begin to literally bleed over into reality. Now, with a gun in one hand and a steering wheel in the other, this distant runner-up in the human race feels empowered for the very first time. And the moral to the story? Traffic can be murder. Red Asphalt by Scott Cherney. Available on the Kindle and in paperback at Amazon.com. It's New York, February 6, 1964. The Beatles are making their appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show in one more day. The Plaza Hotel is crazy with the preparations. Alex Frazier, a desk clerk, has secretly let his brother Freddie use the penthouse suite for the evening so he can wine and dine the girl of his dreams. What Alex and Freddie don't know is the Secret Service are using the same room to hide spy novelist Henry Lade. His most recent novel has attracted the attention of the Soviets and East Germans. The communist countries believe Lade may have secretly discovered their plot to bomb Fresno. Assassins are dispatched to kidnap or kill Lade, whichever is easiest. What Agent John Parker and Henry Lade don't know is the Beatles are staying in the same room for their first appearance on American television. Let's Get Laid by Thomas Amo, available on the Kindle at Amazon.com. Hey, this is the Views Expressed for the 20th of August, 2012. I'm your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, right here on the Liberty and Freedom Network, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com behind enemy lines in FEMA Region 9 in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada. Hope you're all having a good Monday. Yes. We got an open forum Friday coming up, so I'll keep promoting the crap out of that. For the first hour, I'll make a way for you to call in, and you can talk about any number of things. Agenda 21, your view on the presidential candidates, your view on police state matters, your view on the Bilderberg, whatever. It doesn't matter. You got a recipe you want to share? Hey, check down. Call us. We'll dig it. Yeah, why not? Anywho, you can also go to the website associated with the page here, with the show here, and on the page on the right-hand side, you'll see Many Directions of Man, a book I wrote, just my observations of what's going on and some solutions. Also on the left-hand side, you'll see a list of things, and one says store. You can go to the store and promote your patriotism. You can also donate. This is listener-supported radio, so anything that you can do is very, very helpful. Thank you very much. All that does is keeps the site going and keeps the show going, basically. So that's all it's going to do. So anyway, also, you might want to go check out Nick Schott on Spreaker with Spreaker Reviews. He's not on tonight. He'll be on Wednesday night at 2, I believe it's 2:30 Eastern, 2:30 Eastern, I think that's what it is. I don't know. Go to Spreaker.com, go to the search engine, check out Nick Schott or Spreaker Reviews. Want to give you another site that you can go to for some really, really cool radio. No agendas, no nothing, just tell it like it is. KTRNradio.com. KTRNradio.com with your host, Jay Towers, over there at That Radio Show. Check it out. Awesome show, as always. Very informative in some cases as well. So, awesome. Also, lots of shows. I want to give a shout out to The Angel Clark Show. Live 5 to 7 Eastern on radiofreedom.us. Go check out that show, The Angel Clark Show. I was on that show. That was cool. She was on mine. Cool. Right on. She's on before me on another network. So, anyway, and also this Friday night, you can come check out Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. We just reach into the grab bag and we talk about whatever. We may have open forum that night as well. You can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. It's a grab bag. It's whatever. We usually get on, really long tangents about, or I should say really long discussions about whatever, and we go from there. But if we know that people are going to call in, or if we see people calling in, we keep it short, We talk about movies, we talk about food, we talk about education. I mean, everything, everything. So check that out. It's Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show this Friday. I believe it will be at 9 o'clock. But I will let you know during the week. So, but you can always check out this show, The Views Expressed, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Check it out. If you like it, let me know. Follow us on Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. If you don't like us, let us know that too. We'll unfriend you from Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. We don't, we like both sides. I'm just telling you. But if you're going to call us names and tell us, if you're going to be an ass, we don't need you. No holds barred here, but I mean, severe and utter hate because we have an opinion kind of makes me question your integrity. It does make me question your integrity. So if all you want to do is bitch, moan, groan, and whine, we don't need you. Okay? If you want to have a healthy discussion and you may disagree with us, that's fine. We'll sit down, we'll talk. I'll open up the phone line and you can talk. But it's not open right now, so don't try. But yeah. I look at it this way. If you don't like a show anywhere, it's kind of like your TV. You don't like that show, turn the channel. You don't like this show, Spreaker has a whole list of shows that you may like. And if you don't like any of them, you can create your own right there on Spreaker.com. Go check out their plans. They're awesome. Seriously. And, whoops. Yeah, so, I really, I want to put this delicately. I know no holds barred, and I'm trying to censor myself before I say this. There's a lot of people out there who have their heads stuck in the sand. I'll lead off with that. These people absolutely, positively do not know anything about what is around them except within their little, cookie cutter world, their little boundaries that they've set up for themselves. I don't want to talk about politics. I want things to be nice and pleasant and positive. And great, go to another planet, okay, because you're not going to get that. All right, you're going to have people that are going to be pissed off at you, and you probably understand that already, but still, you're looking for utopia. You ain't finding it where you're at. Pretty much non-existent at this point. I don't like talking politics because I get really upset when people, disagree with me. Really? Why do you get upset? You think you're right? I don't think so. Hey, I'm not right. I don't know everything. Hello. I could be wrong in some things. That's okay. I'm fine with that. What about you? If you want to email me personally, a private email to me through the show, you can do that. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. If you like the show, go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check it out, like the page. If you have stories that you find interesting or you might think I might find interesting, please send those to me at Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. If you want to, I almost forgot. If you want to receive the free email newsletter, please let us know. Liberty and Freedom Network newsletter. Send us your information to Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. If you write an article that you want us to put in there, that's fine too. Send that along. Hey, we'll do that. Also, you can follow me personally on Twitter. Yeah, I keep it's on the site here. It's on the Spreaker site. You can see the Twitter thing. ULC Rev 62. ULC Rev 62 on Twitter. Check it out. I don't tweet that often, but when I do, hey, it's interesting. Matter of fact, when the show is done and I'm sharing it, it goes on Twitter, so check it out. Pass it along. Let people know about the views expressed from the Liberty and Freedom Network. Lots of things going down the line. Let me just tell you this. Banks can legally steal customer funds from private checking accounts. Okay? In 2007, the Sentinel Management Group collapsed, leaving many customers segregated funds lost after they have been used as collateral. After a plethora of lawsuits and creditor claims, a decision earlier this month in the 7th Circuit Court placed the banking cartels ahead of the customer claims for funds returned. Essentially, the Bank of New York Mellon, BNYM, sued to be the first in line for return on stolen customer account monies and won the right by the U.S. court system. In the MSN, the mainstream media, the SMG collapse and subsequent ruling in favor of BNYM was touted as a difficult, quote, for customers to recoup money lost, unquote. SMG, a Chicago-based futures broker, had stolen more than $500 million in segregated customer funds to use as collateral on a loan to BNYM for in-house proprietary trading operations. Their books were audited by the National Futures Association. However, the NFA admitted that they could not understand the convoluted mess they were provided by SMG to sign off on. And yet they did, and approved the audit. BNYM sued SMG to recoup any monies owed to them. However, these monies were customer segregated funds that SMG stole and rehypothecated, whatever word that is. But it goes on. And on and on and on and on. Essentially, okay, now let me scroll on down here. This means that once a banking customer deposits their money into an account with a bank, the funds become property of the bank. The customer at the point of deposit relinquishes all rights to that money regardless of any laws in place, legal assurances, claims of guarantee or guarantees. And this extends from investments to private checking accounts. Once the bank has physical possession of your money, they own it and can use it for any means they deem fit. The veil has been lifted on the separation of customer and bank funds. They are now legally commingled. The bank could use it as collateral, as SMG did, to pay off debts or place it on a stock market to bump up their trading with extra cash. And in the event that the customer allocated funds are lost, the bank does not owe the customer the money back. Are you catching this so far? Essentially, once your deposit money in the bank, once your deposit money in the bank account, it is gone. Once you deposit, they said you're, the writer needs to learn how to write. Fred Grede, whatever, Grede, SMG trustee, remarked, quote, I don't think that's what the Commodity Futures Trading Commission had in mind. It does not bode well for the protection of the customer funds, unquote. You think? Somebody else took some money. MF Global scandal rocked the investment world because John Corzine, former governor, chief executive officer of MS Global, instructed the transfer of $200 million from their customer segregated funds to cover the corporation's overdraft account with J.P. Morgan Chase. Here in Reno, Nevada, we have signs all over the place in retail sections and homes saying Chase International. Same people. Continuing, Corzine emailed this order just 3 days before the official collapse of MFG, MF Global. At the same time, Corzine was moving customer money. This missing $6.3 billion were used on debts on European indebted nations. As those European nations' credit ratings plummeted, J.P. Morgan profited financially. Our financial institutions have been planning for a financial collapse wherein the U.S. government will not offer assistance. The resolution plans required by the Federal Reserve Bank, which is not part of the government, it's Rothschild Rockefeller owned, describes schemes to have the major domestic banks remain afloat by selling off assets, finding alternative sources of funding, reducing risky measures that make a quick buck. These strategies were to be perfected with, quote, no assumption of extraordinary support from the public sector, unquote. In other words, the Federal Reserve Bank is telling all these other ones, we need our money now because we loaned it to you and you need to sell off stuff and pay us back. We're the mafia. We loaned you $100 million. Now you owe us $250 million. So you're going to have to sell off stuff to pay us what you owe us. Continuing by selling quote-unquote non-core assets without upsetting shareholders while protecting the monetary system, taxpayers, and creditors is the work of the mega banks who have contributed solely to the destruction of the global financial markets. Bank of America and Citibank have already begun to liquidate some of their assets, an action a bank takes when they are insolvent. Both mega banks and credit unions have been silently altering their deposits withdrawal policies to deter customers from emptying out their accounts. Because the digital record of monies is greater than the physical cash held by banks, this is a scheme to stave off a quote-unquote run on the banks. It's huge. This article is. Go check it out. Oh, by the way, I'll post this up on the Liberty and Freedom Network site. But yeah, you can go to banks can legally steal customer funds from private checking accounts. Go read the rest of that. But here's another one really quick. New DNA hard drives can store entire Library of Congress in a single molecule. I'm not going to get into the technicals on that. I'm going to post that on my main feed and also on Liberty and Freedom Network. Let me tell you something, folks. If you're not awake and if you're not aware, I got to tell you, it's time to get your head out of your butts. Now. Okay? Now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Get your money out of the banks. Well, where am I going to put it? I need pay everything in cash. Okay? Well, I don't have that much. Well, not my problem. Seriously. Cards cost you. Okay? Well, I'm maxed out on my credit cards. Well, file bankruptcy. Get it over with. People in Sacramento, California have walked away from their mortgage. Because they couldn't afford it. Why? Because California's in the hole. They could not get any help from the bank, from anybody. Nobody. More and more and more homes are being short-saled because nobody can afford it and nobody can afford to buy the house. So people have to short-sale their homes, which dings their credit rating. Okay? Nobody understands, oh, I'll just short-sale it and get out from under it and go buy another house, go get a rent somewhere. No. It dings your credit rating when you short-sale a house. Walking away from it is probably the best thing you can do. Just tell the bank, take the house, I'm out of here. Just leave, walk away. We got 4 minutes, folks. I want to thank you all for being here. You know, I want to let you all know that that I appreciate your support. Just showing up in the chat room saying hi is cool. You know, I get notifications that I get followers for the show, and guess what? Nobody pops in the chat room and says hi. So next time you want to follow me, drop in the chat room and say hi. That's probably, you're not listening probably, or those people, I shouldn't say you are. Some people aren't listening, they just go to the Spreaker site and click follow. Oh, look who I'm following, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, yeah, according to the clock on the DJ console, the time, I've got 6 minutes left. So we'll go that 6 minutes. How's that? We'll go that 6 minutes. Computer clock says I have 3. Yeah. Anyway, I started late, okay? So anyway, you can get a hold of me. You can get a hold of me if you want to send me a private email through the show, during the show, whatever you can. You can send it to freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. If you have articles or anything that you want to share with the show, I will more than happy to talk about them. You can send them to Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Go to the website, check it out. On the right-hand side, I got a book, Many Directions of Man, just my observations of things. Go to the left-hand side of the page, you got a store. You can check that out. Also a donate button. You can donate to the show however much you wish. That would be great. Thank you very much. All that does is keeps the website up and the show going. That's about all it does. Please come and check out Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show this Friday evening. I don't know what time yet. It's usually on, well, I'll let you know what time it'll be on. So that's Friday nights. Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. We talk about everything under the sun, pretty much. Go and check out some fellow hosts that I know over at KTRNradio.com. And please let them know I sent you there. Some great conversations that they have over there. It's great. That radio show with your host, Jay Towers. And That BK Show with Brian Keller. Go check that out. They have a sports program over there, too. Somebody's got a sports program over there. It's awesome. Anyway, what else shall I share with you? Yeah. If you have articles that you want to share, that's cool, too. You can go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook and share those with links and sources, please. Thank you. Also, if you have a radio show here on, if you have a show on Spreaker or any network that you're on, please talk to your program manager and all that to find out if you can promote it on my website and through my show. And if you can, please send an audio clip, a promo clip. Promos are free, by the way. I just promote you all day long. Send that to Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Advertising, if you want to advertise some things that you're selling, your store, whatever it may be, please email me for advertising rates at Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Again, Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. And it's not going to break your bank, trust me. It really isn't. I'm relatively cheap when it comes to everybody else, trust me. But I will give you those rates when you email me. There are a lot of things going on in the world, and I want to tell you in the last 2 minutes that we have to really pay attention to what's going on. You know, Romney, Obama, same person, bought off by the same people at Goldman Sachs and all this, that, and the other thing. Go look it up. Go look it up, seriously. Go look it up. And just lots of stuff, man. Lots of stuff going on. We really, really need to pay attention. We really need to get out there and get proactive. We need to tell our city councils, take fluoride out of the water. It causes cancer, according to Harvard University. Go and do what you got to do to be proactive in your neighborhood. And be the activist that you know you are. So... come join Reverend Wayne S. Pierce on The Views Express, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, on Spreaker.com. That would be me. Yes. Throw some music in there with a promo for the show. Yeah, isn't it great? Love it. Love my show. Love what's going on. So, if you have a show, please send it to me. Send it to me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. That's my personal address for the show, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Send me your links to your shows, and I'll promote them here. In the meantime, remember this. We the people have the power, for we are America.